Y'all really don't even know what we just had to go through to even record this episode. Like, you have absolutely no idea. Why am I holding my mic?
Yeah, we've been through a lot.
Yeah, so the fact that we even recording this episode today is a blessing.
But it looks good.
Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Look, listen, it's going to be what it is for what it is right now. We do not have a production crew. It is just you and I doing everything, so...
And working hard,
yes.
Doing our best,
yes.
And that's all you can.
That's all we can do, ultimately. So if this is your first time listening, welcome to the Message 24 podcast.
Hi guys.
I am one half of this amazing podcast. Lakhia, aka Sincerely Danny _ on the gram.
And we are so grateful for you. We're so grateful for you.
For who?
For you.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'm the second half of this great podcast, but it would not be anything without you. But my name is James, so
it wouldn't be anything without you. You listen. Everything behind the scenes, I show up. I do the outline. Tech, everything is you. So
make a great team.
We do. Well, before we get started, I thought I would do a little catching up with our listeners because I know one of the things we wanted to talk about on this podcast is navigating the highs and lows of being a 20-something. So I am officially done with my first semester of vet school.
Hey!
My finals are in, my grades are in, whatever. This year really beat my ass, honestly. And I just want to be very transparent about that. I know a lot of time on Instagram and stuff, when people post things, everything just seems great. And no, I almost left vet school. I was depressed. My anxiety was terrible. I had a lot of unfortunate experiences with professors. It was hard. So I really had to remember my why and to remember why I wanted to come to vet school in the first place. I did a lot of comparing myself to other people, comparing myself to people in my class, comparing myself to my peers, the people I went to undergrad with. We are all the same age and they are in their careers and I'm still in school.
Working on your
you know what I'm saying? I have 3 more years of school before I can enter my profession and move the way I want to move. So it was, I don't know, this was a hard year. I'll say that. I feel I don't know. I guess the upside is there are a lot of people in my class who are my age and who are older than me. A lot of us didn't come straight to vet school. So a lot of us are a little bit older, but still having people who are your friends who are in their careers and they're moving and they can do what they want to do. And I'm fuck, I'm still just in school.
And I think that is very important that you brought up, the careers that are so hyped up and you're a doctor, you're this, you're that. You don't know the time that goes into the stress and all the hard work that goes into some of those programs to get in it. It's worth it. I hope it's worth it, but it's a lot that people don't see, and so that's the part that's not really talked about.
Yeah, you just see the end result, but when I graduated from vet school, I would have gone to school 10 years to be a doctor. 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of vet school, and I did 2 years of a master's degree in between undergrad and vet school. Fucking 10 years of school, and people just be you must like school. Hell no, I actually hate school. I don't like it. Vet school is different. Well, I don't know if I really like vet school. That shit is hard. I'm glad to be there. I'm learning a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm narrowing it down and figuring out what I want to do. And, that conference I went to this weekend was great. We did a lot of networking.
Yes, the conference was amazing. Yeah. I felt lucky to be, with you because just the network that you have access to is awesome. You were asking me, okay, James, would you like to go here and there? I was I might go to one of them. I might go to two of them.
Trying to go.
In a blink of an eye, when I tell you I met several doctors as soon as I came and met you, owners. Like, you get in a circle of people, like, when you just take that chance and get around. So, yeah, that conference definitely was awesome.
It was great. I'm low-key the networking queen. My friends call me the networking queen. Because one thing about me, if I don't do nothing else, I'm a network. Because literally going to that conference, I just secured 3 positions. Like, easy, just from talking to people. And I think that community is also super small. So if you know somebody who knows somebody, like, you straight. And I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody else. So I was good. But yeah, I just wanted to be transparent about that. I think that's, what we set out to do on this podcast, as well as talking about relationships, is we're figuring life out.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It's not all peaches and cream.
No, it's not. And I feel like a lot of people feel like it is, like, once you graduate from college, like, everything is going to be great. Yeah. And for some people that is true, but for some of us, we're still figuring it out. And I'm just trying to give myself some grace and understand that I am only 25. I have a full, happy, long, healthy life to live.
Right.
And it's okay that I am not where I want to be right now. I love the woman I am. Growing to love the woman that I am becoming, the woman that I will be. So yeah, I just needed to say, don't let this Instagram shit fool you. Yeah, like, no, seriously, because a lot of people will have you fooled and thinking, and I mean, if it is that way for you, teach me, put me on. You know what I'm saying? But if I have a platform, I'm gonna be transparent about what I have going on. So I'm very grateful to be done with this first year. I have so much stuff lined up to do this summer. But it's cool. At least I'm done with school. Yeah. So that's the most important thing to me. So yeah. Did you want to catch up, or are we good? I'm
gonna let nah, I'm good.
That's fine. Well, whenever you feel comfortable. I just am an open book. Yeah. And I know it takes you a little bit longer, so that's completely understandable, baby. All right, so this is going to be our date episode. I almost call this something else. So our in the DM for this week is how to plan dates when you're busy. I think that's a really interesting topic, as a lot of us are young professionals. We're building, we're growing.
On the go.
Always, constantly. So we can start here. Do you want to talk about how we plan dates when we're busy and then move into our center delete, or how you want to do it today?
We can talk about how we kind of, I guess, set out and plan our dates when we're super busy. So I would say both of us have like crazy busy schedules. So throughout the week we're on TikTok or whatever, and we'll see like cute little places to go or things to do, and we send them to each other and yada yada yada.
That's my love language.
Yes, sending dating TikToks and travel TikToks
and food.
Yes, and good eats.
You know that's my love language for real.
But yeah, we'll text each other throughout the week, and then we probably on like Thursday or so we'll, I guess, decide on exactly what we want to do and how we're going to do it and the amount of time it's going to take. And sometimes I know some people, they work 9 to 5s, or they're just, they have a set schedule, and on the weekends they're off. But with us, that's not how it works. Like, you had a conference this weekend. Yeah. And I had some stuff that I was working on for YouTube. Yeah. So it's just like, how are we going to fit in any time to do anything? Yeah. So I would definitely say we set out at least once every week to like spend about an hour or two just at a different location. We try not to do the same thing. Yeah. So we'll switch up our dates. And it's normally between like either going walking or like just being very intimate. We're not really on our phones like that. Yeah, we
stay off the phones.
And I would say eating. So
we love to eat.
If we're not like going on an adventure, then we're definitely eating some good food. And we try to we don't go crazy, but we try to find something different every blue moon and see what other people are talking about and try good food, and we be on our ass.
No, we do. We're also very adventurous. Like, we do love to go do stuff outside, like hiking. Yeah. We went to the Whitewater Center. That shit was fun. We gotta run that back.
The Whitewater Center was very, very fun.
That rafting. And
you found out a lot of things about me that you probably didn't know. Like, I think I can swim. I believe that I can swim. I have swam in waters above 10 feet. Now,
this is
I jumped in it and I swam all the way through it until I got to the water that I could stand up in.
Because you can't.
All in one sitting.
This is how I know.
That's a swimmer.
Y'all let me know.
That's a swimmer for you.
We went to the Whitewater Center and we were waiting for our turn to get on the raft, so we were just going and doing different things that they have available. And they have like this cliff thing that you can climb up and drop off, and when you drop off you fall into like 10 feet of water. Now, I can swim. I learned how to swim at the Y when I was younger. My mama was a lifeguard in high school. All of us, she made sure all her kids could swim. I'm an excellent swimmer. I wasn't even about to go do that shit because I'm like, I might get discombobulated. It's just too much, so I wasn't gonna do it. But he was gonna go do it, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna hold you down from the sidelines. Like, I'm not doing it. One thing about me, I know my limits, but I also have
no limits.
I have limits, but also my toxic trait is thinking I can do anything I see somebody do one. Like, I do it a lot with my hair. I be seeing a TikTok with hair and I get hyped up and think I could do it. And I just spent a bunch of money. I just spent $60 on hair shit and I can't do it. But this particular day, I knew I couldn't do that. So we walk over, whatever. They make you do a swim test before you can climb the wall.
Why they do that?
Which is great for people like him who thought he was just finna climb up the wall and jump into 10 feet of water.
So let's give the background story.
I done gave it.
Everywhere. No, you didn't mention this.
I'm gonna sit my water.
Every single place that we was at that had water, right? The whitewater rafting, you put on floats. On the little whatever else shit, you put on floats. On this particular thing, they said no floats.
Because you a swimmer. Why? You're a swimmer.
Why would anybody jumping straight down into water? Why would you not have a?
Why would anybody who can't damn swim think they finna jump off a cliff and land into 10 feet of water and not sink?
Because they're floats. There should have been floats available for that.
Know your limits.
Whitewater Center, we got a problem.
No, we don't. Just know your limits. And once he saw they was doing the swim test, he told me, nah, I ain't gonna do it. Because he didn't want to take a swim test because he can't pass it.
I would have passed it, but I didn't know how it was gonna go.
You wouldn't have passed it. And I'm just so glad they did that, because if you would have jumped off that thing and then people would have had to come rescue you.
All you gotta do is go up.
So why people be... If it's that easy, everybody can swim. But it's not that easy.
I don't know why they had all the swim test. You're not doing...
It's 10 feet of water.
You go up.
And you... Like I said, know your limits. Know what you can and can't do. Because clearly...
I can do it.
Okay, we're going to go. I'm going to vlog it. I'm going to vlog it, actually. So y'all can see what happens. And I hope to God I don't have to jump in and save you.
Well, somebody else go jump in.
Somebody gonna have to do something, because if you can't come up from the bottom,
you're gonna be yelling.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. While I was at the Whitewater Center, this little boy was finna drown. He was in a kayak, and
that boy was like,
if you've ever been in a kayak, you know, like your legs are in there and it's just your upper body that's up.
Right.
He flipped himself over and was upside down in the water, which happens a lot when you are in a kayak, but you have to know how to turn yourself over, because if not, your ass can drown. So he was flipped over and nobody was coming to his rescue, and this kid is like 8 years old. So I'm looking around like, oh my gosh, like, where's his mama? I kept scrolling, where's his mama? Nobody was helping him.
Keep in mind, the only person that saw this is you.
Yeah, well, so I didn't want to jump into the water immediately to save him and look like an ass, but...
How would you look like an ass?
I mean, because then what if I would have been standing next to him, he would have... I mean, he did end up flipping himself over.
You're saying, like, you didn't want to interfere with
his
skills?
If he was trying to learn, you know what I'm saying? But I thought he was dying, so I'm like, damn, is somebody going to help this nigga? Nobody helped him. Thank God he ended up flipping himself over, because...
He looked like he was
gonna die. Yeah. Had it been 5 seconds later, I probably would have jumped in the water and like just flipped his ass up. Because it wasn't even deep water, but you know what I'm saying, flipped upside down.
And he looked like he was really, he was really struggling to get himself back up.
You gotta learn, like, if you're gonna kayak, that is something you have to know how to do. Like, because if you by yourself, like, what the hell,
Well, first of all, if you don't know what you're doing, no kayak.
Me right here, I can swim, not get in the kayak by myself. I would need to be with other people. Because if I flip over, somebody can help me. Like, oh my gosh, now I really want to go back to whitewater because that paddleboarding was so fun. Like, we had a really, really good time.
Very adventurous. I felt like I was on Wipeout or something. Like
facts. When I tell you, we were so tired. When we got home.
Yeah, and it is an all-day event.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
You definitely don't want to come out there and not have food or
water Gatorade. Or, you need the whole 9. So if you're looking for an adventurous date, and
that's a great date.
That's a great date. Actually, that was a perfect date. He learned that I'm afraid of heights.
Yes.
And I finally admitted to myself that I am afraid of heights because I would never admit it. But when we climbed up to do this, it's not a zip line.
It was a zip line. It was just a mini.
Okay, first of all,
a baby zip line.
Don't do me. A zip line is where you come off a platform and you just glide across.
What did we do?
This the platform, you came straight down. Like it wasn't
literally
a glide.
Feet. It wasn't far.
Whatever. It was high. As I was climbing, the funny thing is I was talking shit about somebody that was up there. I'm like, damn, why did it take us so long to come down? It ain't but 40 feet, 60 feet.
You have to jump off, which is the crazy thing.
And as I was climbing up, I said, I have fucked up.
And the crazy thing is too, like, I've noticed on most zip lines, there's a person like hooking you on and kind of pushing you along. Well, on this case, there was nobody up at the top.
No, it's
they
just
were
us.
Standing like 100 feet saying, all right,
jump.
As
I was climbing up, it just kept getting, because it doesn't look that high from the ground. It looks like some mid from the ground.
Yeah, it literally looked like you climbing up maybe 5 or 6 feet. Nothing crazy.
As I'm climbing, you know in movies where people be like doing something and it seemed like way higher up than it is? In my mind, because I'm afraid of heights, I was climbing like the Empire State Building. In my brain, that's how high up I was. And I was like, oh, shit. So I'm climbing. I get to the top. I didn't even want to stand up on the platform. Because first of all, the platform was moving because the wind was blowing.
I don't know if
Maybe I made it up.
I'm pretty sure that platform was not... It was moving?
It was moving.
You were seeing
Baby, no, that platform was moving. It was just like swaying in the wind a little bit. I was on my hands and knees. I didn't even want to stand up. Yeah. So I got up there and I'm talking to the man. I'm like, is there another way I can come down? He said, yeah, you can climb back down. I'm like, oh, that's worse. That's worse. That's way worse. I don't want to climb down.
Keep in mind, the height of this thing is like one of them electric poles.
Yeah, it is the height of an electric pole. It is the height of an electric pole. That shit not funny. When I tell you I was so scared, so I'm like, I see you get up there and I'm like, baby, I'm scared. He was like, I'm a little scared too.
Well, I ain't even gonna hold you. You talking your shit, but I was nervous too. I'm not a big heights.
But the thing is, I love roller coasters. Like, I will ride it, but I am actually afraid of heights. But so I'm like, baby, I'm scared. And he's like, I'm scared too. So you was like, okay, we're gonna jump at the same time.
We're gonna jump on 3.
We're gonna jump on 3. So I was like,
or was it 5? No,
I started at 3 and I went to 5.
He was like, no, baby, we're gonna switch it to 5. I was like, all right, baby.
I said 5.
And 4. Do y'all count back? Do y'all count down or?
My mind was gone. Cause how I go from 3 to 5?
I'm like 1, 2, 3, and then you're like, no, we're gonna switch it to 5, and then you start counting from 5, 4, 3.
Oh my. That was terrifying. I'm just sitting here getting scared thinking about it again. Yeah. And it's like, you got tired. He left me. He left me on the platform. He was like, all right, I'm about to go. And he left me and jumped off the platform.
My thought process is if I didn't jump, I would never jump.
That ain't love.
That is love.
You left me on the platform.
By example. You lead by example. Sometimes the man, you gotta lead by example.
Okay.
And so, in this case, I did it. I landed safe and sound, and then he was like, oh my gosh, baby, you're my hero.
I never said that never came out of my mouth. Not even remotely close to that. But I am glad that I was pissed that you left me. I did say that, but I'm not saying
Can you say it for the listeners? Please. My hero.
Why do you don't even like when I say it to you, so why you want me to say it on the podcast?
You say it for our listeners.
My hero. Why do you want me to say that? You don't even like when I say it. Now when I say it when we get in the bed, I don't want to hear that. Oh, I would say it. But I was glad that you jumped because I needed to see how the harness caught you when you jumped. Because it's like you just jumping straight down. So I didn't know that as soon as you jump, it jacks you up. And it like you glide down. In my mind, I'm going, goddamn.
What, you thought you was going to bounce off the ground?
Man, I don't know what I thought was going to happen. And I still don't know how I ended up jumping. I had to close my eyes. I did have to close my eyes.
Oh, I definitely closed my eyes once I jumped.
But I still don't know what made me end up taking that last step off. And I was so embarrassed because
I think it was probably, I feel like it was, you didn't want to feel super, super embarrassed, so you just...
I mean, I was already embarrassed. I was up there for like 20 minutes.
And I don't think you wanted to come down either, because coming down would have just been...
It was... Jumping off was the lesser of two evils. Yeah. Coming down them stairs, that's too much like hand-eye coordination for me to have been as scared as I was, so that wouldn't have worked. But I was still embarrassed because when I came there, everybody was clapping for me, and I'm like... And it was worse because it was little kids who had just did it.
Somebody was talking some shit.
Oh, I know they was talking shit because I was talking shit about the girl who went before us. Because remember, her and her girlfriend was doing it, and her girlfriend climbed back down midway. I was like, I'm not doing this, and she still went up there.
I would have been.
Had you left me,
what you mean?
They would have had to call somebody to come get me down because I wouldn't have came down. I just would have stood up there.
No, I'm saying if I would have jumped and you would have climbed back down,
I ain't gonna hold you. I started to. Once I got like midway, I was like, you don't have nothing to prove to these fucking people.
I feel it.
Climb down. You don't have nothing to prove. But nah, that was an interesting date.
That was a great date.
Like I said, if you're in even if you're just in North Carolina, period, like you could just, it's a whole day thing. Like you can make it a weekend thing if you want to. Go to Whitewater, go to some other shit in Charlotte. Like it was cool.
Yeah, whitewater rafting.
And then when we went whitewater rafting, oh my God.
What story about you about to tell?
I'm about to tell. Well, so when you go whitewater rafting, you have to be careful where you sit. Because if you sit in the middle, that's like the ejector seat. And if you hit something, you pop and flying out of that thing. Our guide was in the background flying up in the air.
Jumping.
And then coming and sitting back down. Yeah. It was like a
timing thing.
A video game.
Yeah.
He was and then down. Yeah. But
as the current and all that is pushing the boat along. So keep in mind, if he jumped the wrong way,
he in the water.
He in the damn water where the current is crazy.
Yeah, and it's so fast it can snap your legs. So it's a whole thing. Yeah. But I was so scared you was about to come out of that boat. He was like, get down. And you was still on the edge. I'm like, baby, get down. Because I'm thinking to my head, Lord, if he get ejected out of this boat, I'm jumping out the boat too.
The last thing you want me to do is sit on that damn little popper and get ejected out and then hit that damn current.
You didn't have your foot up under the thing hard enough. I'm like, baby, get down.
Well, it's like...
I'm not gonna lie. If you would have got ejected out of it, but I would have started crying.
It's weird because the place where you're supposed to put your feet, my feet are kind of big.
Yeah, and it was tight.
Yeah, it was super tight. So anybody with small feet that could snuggle their joints in there, they good. They ain't coming out the shit. But there's people like me who make one damn wrong move and I'm going. I
remember just being scared. I'm like, Lord, because remember that little girl, her mama got ejected out of the boat. The little girl was crying. I'm like, damn, that would have been me had you got ejected out of the boat. He can't swim. Please help us. Somebody, please get him out of the water. He can't swim.
And you remember the boy?
Oh my gosh,
he got
his crack.
Boy, he was trying. So when you get out, when you fall out the boat, you gotta swim to somewhere where you can actually...
You have to get out of the current. They have to throw you like a life raft to get out of the current because it can snap your legs if you're not careful. They tell you don't walk, just try to float, basically. Man, this man got ejected out, and as our raft is coming by, they hollering at him, get out the water,
get out the water.
His whole ass was out. His crack, his everything was out, and he just kept oh my God, he kept falling and trying to
there was no way he was gonna be able to pull up his shorts anytime soon.
And it was like we were like our ref was sitting there, so we had
it was sitting right in front of this guy's crack. Like that shit was.
When I tell you, I almost threw up. I was laughing so hard. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. That was like the funniest thing I had seen in a long.
He kept slipping.
He was panicked, and he was looking back at us.
I'm glad.
Sorry to that man.
Yeah.
That was a good ass date for real. Now, honestly, Whitewater need to sponsor us. They need to sponsor us and let us come do a vlog. Commercial. A vlog, Lord, a vlog.
Yeah, vlog.
I said a vlog, because that's a really, really good date.
Yeah.
But if you're not adventurous, definitely, probably not
good
for you. So you were saying how we do stuff like that. We send each other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I started school, my schedule was crazy. So we literally had to sit down and just be like, okay, when do we have pockets of time that line up with each other? So you would get up for work or whatever, and you would call me, and we would talk in the morning. We would eat breakfast together, just get our day started. Then normally we took lunch at the same time, and we would eat our lunch together. We would talk to each other during lunch, and then at the end of the week we always knew either you were coming to me or I'm coming to you, and this is what we're gonna do.
Right.
So if you're super busy, I definitely would advise you to find pockets of time that line up. There has to be something like
there's gonna be some time, but I think another thing is to be very intentional about making sure that both people are on the same page about whatever y'all are doing.
Absolutely.
So there needs to be designated time in your schedule to, this is my time for my baby. Like, we're gonna spend some time together for, yes, my baby. For like an hour, 2 hours, or how much ever y'all have time for.
Yeah.
But if you have busy schedules and you're not being intentional and you're not making it a priority, like, y'all's relationship is probably going to be...
It's not going to be.
Very frustrating.
Being intentional is super, super important. And, like, even if... You have to define what a date is to you as well. Because sometimes we don't go out. We just, like... Our love language is, like, low-key getting Wingstop and, like, watching a movie or something. Like,
and I don't know if y'all have seen that meme where Drake... I think it's whispering in somebody's ears to "Let's go get wings" after.
That's us.
Yes,
that's literally us. We love wings in general. So we would get some wings and find a good movie to watch. Like, that's what we like to do. That's a date for us. Like, it's a date in, but it's a date. Also, we like
everything don't gotta be super fancy.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And honestly, I like getting dressed up and going out, but not all the time. Like, sometimes I just want to, like, chill, like, go for a walk. Sometimes I want to, like we did yesterday, we had a picnic at the park. Like, I like to do, it's a balance. Yes. It's a balance thing. You have to have a balance in between. But
yeah, and that's whatever relationship it is, like you said, just define that.
Yes.
Determine what y'all enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And hopefully some things match up, because I can't imagine if you liked food and I wasn't a big food person.
That would not work.
And you liked adventure and I wasn't a big adventure person. And you liked something I wasn't, like...
It would not...
The dates would be a lot tougher. Or you thought every time we need to go date, we needed to go to a super fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
And it just... That would be frustrating. That would be...
Yeah. It wouldn't work.
Cause issues.
We are very balanced when it comes to that. And I've had my fair share of nice-ass restaurants. But I'm still down to go to a hole-in-the-wall spot, like, to go get some.
That's better than me.
To me, it is. Taste-wise, price-wise, I got leftovers, all that. Don't get me wrong. We do go out to nice restaurants occasionally, but to me...
Some nice places with some nice food. But
yeah, but it's not...
Them hole-in-the-walls, but
them
you gon'
us every time.
Get that grip on.
Grip. Okay. But that's going to do it. So, yeah, define what a date is for both of you. And find somebody who has similar... That's why it's important to date someone who has similar interests as you. I don't think you both have to enjoy all of the same things, but for us, we are blending a life together. Like we're creating a life with one another. So it's kind of important that we like to do some of the same things. But even if there was something that, you know, you wanted to do that I didn't want to do, I would do it because I know that it would make you happy.
And that's a gem for y'all. You just threw out a gem. Say it again.
This is not Clubhouse. I know.
Say it again. That was a gem.
I mean, but
right
it is important. Like if your partner wants to do some shit, I don't.
I'm just saying that was good, man.
If your partner wants to do something and you don't want to do it, sometimes you do have to do it because you know that it makes them happy.
And that's something I had. The only reason I'm saying that's a gem is because that's something that I had to learn, being that I was a bit selfish in the beginning of our relationship.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be some things that you enjoy that I'm just not going to be the biggest fan of. But if you can try it, you may find out that you actually like it. Like, one big one was face mask. So, you did face mask. And you... Man,
I'm thinking you talking about the mask we got to wear out in the storm. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
No, we're not talking about... COVID has enough of its issues.
Okay, because I'm like,
No, like the face mask. Yeah, just like a...
Oh, like the lavender.
The actual...
We have to go to the store to go get that other mask. We really need to do that.
Yeah, so like your self-care and some of the things that you really did. Like, I was a bit iffy about it at first, but like now... I actually enjoy it and probably do it just as much as you.
You actually might do it more than me now. Yeah. Like your face mask thing.
Yeah. So it definitely try out everything and see whatever your partner they like, then hey, at least give it a chance and go from there. So.
Oh, I do remember when we did face masks for the first time. You was like, and it worked. It was
the
beautiful.
Spa. Like I actually go back to that. Not the spa, but what's the little place where you sit down, it's real hot.
Oh, we went to the sauna.
Yes, the sauna. I would actually do that again.
Yeah,
but
that was fun.
Yeah, that was.
I introduced him to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that just reminded me, we really do need to go to that place to get that face mask again because that shit is nice. Yeah. Oh, and then we got the little under eye things. We gotta do that tonight. My baby's making his world famous spaghetti because he knows his baby loves spaghettis. His spaghetti is the best in the world. And I am excited. I was having a really rough night last night. And he was like, do you want me to make you some of my spaghetti tomorrow? And I wanted to cry because this spaghetti is so good. And I don't make spaghetti that often. So I'm so glad that you're making it.
Some good spaghettis tonight.
Yes. So, I guess we could talk about this first. There was a video trending on TikTok. And there was a man, he was out to lunch with his wife. From the information I've seen, they've been together for 10 years. This is background story. She took him out for lunch and it was her birthday. And he didn't even know it was her birthday.
Jesus.
And she was like, it's my birthday. And he was like, no, it's not. She was like, no, it is. She planned a lunch for them to go out on her birthday because he forgot her birthday. So... how would you feel if I forgot your birthday? If I didn't plan anything, if I didn't do anything, like how would you feel if I just treated that shit like it was a normal day? Cause this man just showed up for lunch and was eating and had his wife.
Yeah.
His wife.
Yeah, I would definitely feel like who I am to you may not be of priority for you.
Yeah.
And special days for me are not priority for you. So that would actually really bother me.
You think it would hurt your feelings?
Yes, it would hurt my feelings. I don't think I normally say things hurt my feelings.
You don't, but that's why I wanted to see if it would hurt you. I wanted to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I think that would hurt my feelings, and I think that I don't have to have anything like super big or something super planned out, but I would at least like to hear happy birthday. Yeah. Like, this is your day, enjoy your day. Like, you don't have to have anything planned for me. I'm not big on that type of stuff, but at least acknowledge and at least, mention it to me that you are aware of it's there.
That is the day.
That's
terrible.
I think that situation is horrible for you to... And going back to... you getting super comfortable.
Yeah.
And y'all been together for so long. I think we talk about that a lot too. Like, months go by and time goes by, and before you know it, you together for a year, 2 years. And the time just keeps moving. So you just gotta be conscious of everything that's going on, and don't get so involved with whatever you have going on that you can't take that time to acknowledge the other person. Like, you have gotten way too busy if you do not know
your
partner's
spouse's birthday
and cannot acknowledge it, or like your anniversary or whatever it may be. Like,
and we celebrate our anniversary every month. We are head ass as fuck. We celebrate our anniversary every month. We love it. We love each other's, and we celebrate every month. But back to birthday, it doesn't even have to be crazy. Like, I know that on your birthday, spending time with his family has a tradition. They always spend their birthdays together. So me knowing that, last year I made sure I planned something with your family. You've been talking about you want to go to Top Golf forever. I made sure that happened. Everything else was extra because you didn't really ask me for anything. You just said I want to go to Top Golf. Made sure we go to Top Golf. Had your parents surprise you. Then this year,
that shocked me.
Yeah. And this year, you were saying you wanted to cook out. So ask your dad to come out of retirement so he could cook out on the grill for you. And I knew that you like to spend time with your family. So it just goes back to listening from what somebody wants. Like for my birthday, I love birthday cake. My grandma used to always buy me a birthday cake. My stepmom always gets me a birthday cake. Don't have my grandma here. Stepmom is in another city, so it was different. So you made sure to get me a birthday cake. Like, that was really, really important to me. So it's just listening to, and not to mind you, last year you and my birthday in the middle of COVID, not in the middle of, let me slow down, I'm getting tongue-tied.
In the middle of the
you and my best friend planned my birthday in the middle of COVID last year. I had a full day of events. Like, it was a whole thing. And you got me a cake then too, because you know how important cake is to me. Like, we went out for a nice brunch. I went to a museum, and you took me to a fucking botanical garden. Like, I love to be outside. So it doesn't have to be these super elaborate things, but it does need to be something that that person,
your partner.
Yeah. Like, even down to, I made him a pound cake. He loved pound cake.
It was a pound. What else?
It was a lemon bundt cake, but I called it a pound cake because that's what he liked. He called it pound cake. It's not really pound cake. It's a bundt cake.
It really don't matter what it was called.
And as I'm saying, I know that you like that, so I made it a point to make sure I do that. So don't get too comfortable with your spouse. You should definitely be comfortable, but don't get so comfortable where you forget their birthday or you're not trying to date them anymore.
It's not the dating. It should be always dating.
Yes, constantly. So that brings me to that was our first Center Delete, by the way. So our second Center Delete is something that I saw on TikTok from a therapist. I'm assuming his name is Therapist Dave. I don't know his man credentials, whatever. But I came across this TikTok, and he was talking about the 3-3-3 rule. And it's for marriage, but I definitely think it should also apply for like committed relationships like we're in. So with this rule, it says every 3 days you should reconnect with your spouse. So that means just talking, but you're not talking about work. You're not talking about business. You're not talking about the house. Like, you're just talking about each other, how you can show up for each other better, this, that, and the third. And then every 3 weeks is a date night. So I think for us, every 3 weeks is like, it's a little like too long. Like, we do. Yeah. And maybe this means three.
This is what he is. Recommending. Yeah, but if 3 weeks, if you can go 3 weeks without a date and that works for you, fine. That doesn't really work for us. But again, we do different things that we consider dates. So it depends on you. But I thought that was a good idea because, like, if you married and you got kids, like, I could easily see people not having a date for months. Yeah. So every 3 weeks for married people with kids, I think that's perfect. Right. I think that's perfect. Then he says every 3 months you should get a hotel room for the night or for the weekend. And I think that's something we are probably going to adopt. Like, we both have our own spots, but
still. Like, I think that could be cool. Yeah. And he's saying, get it for a night or get it for the weekend just to not be in the house. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is something different.
Spontaneous.
Yeah. And we have done that before. Like, when you surprise me on the anniversary with the whole shebang.
So I don't really like to tell too much, but
don't tell me we stayed there though.
No, I ain't going. Oh Lord, yeah, and she pooped in the toilet seat, and
you always gotta take it too far. You just can't never just let it be.
No, but you remember that time we went, and I just told you to come with me, and you didn't have.
I didn't have no clothes,
no anything. We went to this hotel. And just stayed the night, and it was literally like a spontaneous.
It was super spontaneous.
It's a little clean but dirty, but
they had to give us another room.
Well, not that part.
It was definitely raunchy. It was raunchy.
Look clean but dirty. We didn't bring no clothes.
I'm thanking God we don't got no kid from that. Okay.
But yeah, that was
you got me. I came. Then you
had no clue.
You got my I love flowers. You got my flowers. Then we went to one of our favorite food spots. Got food. Mm-hmm. Then we pulled up at the hotel. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You thought you was just gonna go.
And that's the same home. Weekend we went to Whitewater. That was our 1 year anniversary weekend. That was the same weekend we went to Whitewater too. That was a good ass anniversary weekend, like for real.
Was that? Yeah, that was. I was celebrating our 1 year. Now, we kind of for our 1 year and our anniversaries, we know roughly when we started dating. So I guess we kind of celebrate when we first met and when I officially asked you to be my girlfriend. So
we
it's kind of like
both dates.
3 to 6 months. Varies, but we understand it.
Yeah, it worked for us. So we celebrate both of those things. Because basically after our first date, we was together every single day. We weren't in a committed relationship yet, but we was together every day. So that's why we counted from there, and then we also count when we became an official couple. Yeah. But that was a nice ass anniversary.
Yeah. And were you done with the 3
It's one more. Okay. And then he said every 3 years take an extended vacation. I think every 3 years is a little long, but if it works for you, I think every year potentially, but I do understand with people who are busy, they have kids, it's a different story. So it might be at minimum, that's a huge part. Yes. At minimum, every 3 years, you should take a vacation. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that is a great way to sustain a relationship for people, who are busy and who have kids or, whatever the case may be. And I think that this is something that can easily be adopted for people who have a little more flexibility in their schedule. Like, we don't have kids, so that frees us up a lot. Granted, we still got our own shit going on, but you know what I'm saying? And you can just take it and you can tweak it to
what works
for you. So I thought that was great. And I definitely wanted to make sure that we included that as we are talking about dating.
Yeah.
So didn't you say you had
that's what I was gonna say. That kind of piggies back off of something that I was watching on TikTok as well. I don't know if it was a psychiatrist or whatever you said. Who did
therapist.
You get? Yeah, therapist. But this guy, he talked about the 2-2-2 rule, and this rule is for people not to really lose themselves. That is very important in a relationship, to make sure that you are with your partner, y'all are growing, but you also are yourself and you're growing as yourself as well. So the 2-2-2 rule is for 2 days you spend time alone by yourself. You are in your own head. You're working on some of the things that you want to do as yourself.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 days where you spend with your partner, and you are not, so busy with the stuff that you have going on with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking with your partner. Y'all are working on y'all's relationship. Y'all are building. Y'all are growing. And then for 2 days, you are spending with your own friends. So you have your set of friends. Mm-hmm. You go, you spend time. Y'all do y'all's thing. Mm-hmm. Y'all catch up. I do the same thing. So it's kind of like if you use that rule, and then I think he said for like the last day, you can bring your friends together, I can bring my friends together, and we're all together all in one setting, which I know that that's kind of a lot being, you can't, I don't know if you can do that all in 1 week, but he basically said to use that same ratio for a month or for the year or however you want to split it up, but just make sure it's balanced, like you're spending time with yourself, your friends, and your partner. So I thought that was really good.
No, I think that's really, really good. And we actually have on our outline, we have an episode that we will talk about not losing your identity in a relationship, because it's really easy to do that. It's really easy to just become a us, and you can forget about you outside of a relationship. So I definitely think that's super, super important. And it's important to have your own group of friends. Like, y'all can have friends that y'all have together, but y'all also need y'all own friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's super, super important to have. So I think that's all I have for the Center Deletes for this week. We do not have a help center for this week. So again, if you would like to send us a question, if you would like to send us a story, feel free to do so by emailing us at message24@gmail.com. Everything will be anonymous. We won't say your name. So that's that for that.
Yes, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes, thank you.
We are constantly uploading weekly episodes, and you can see our faces. So we like to smile, cheese. I do a good gripper.
No.
I do some crazy stuff on camera. So we definitely want you guys to check that out. Make sure you subscribe. Want to tell them about?
Oh yes, we have great news. So a few things. You can check us out on Zippy Stream, and they are entering our subscribers into a monthly drawing for $250. It's free money. Just go ahead and subscribe to us on Zippy Stream. We also are now available on all the streaming platforms. So wherever you get your podcast, you can listen to Message 24. So we're on Spotify, iHeart, Google, Apple, YouTube, everywhere. So wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, you can now catch us and listen to us there as well.
Yes.
Was there anything else? Oh, if you are interested in sponsoring an episode of Message 24, feel free to also message us at that same email address, message24@gmail.com. Support us while we're also supporting you at the same time. So I think that's it.
Yeah, I think. This is another one. If they're struggling with figuring out how to use Zippy Stream or whatever, I'm gonna make like a tutorial on where to go, what to do that way. Because we really want y'all to get this $250.
Yes.
This is free money, and we are excited to. The people that support us, we want to make sure that they're giving y'all everything y'all need so that y'all can reap some of the rewards too. Everybody wins. So
that's our first. I still call it a sponsorship. Like, that's essentially our first sponsorship, and our podcast has grown in a short amount of time. Like, we actually have a small community of people who listen to us each and every week, and like the amount of plays that we're getting, the amount of like listeners that we have is like, we just dropped this podcast last month.
Yeah, and from the locations, we really appreciate our listeners for continuing to tune in.
Yes, I don't know who y'all are in Denver, but shout out to y'all.
Yep, Denver, Seattle.
Yes, Denver and Seattle are still our top listeners, and I think it's beautiful. So,
and we from the North Carolina.
Exactly.
So that tells you something.
It does. But yeah, we're available wherever you get your podcast. You know, we have our lovely video that's also available. We're also posting some like us content on our Instagram. We just dropped our first reel today that is not a video clip of the podcast. It's just us going on a date.
Yeah.
So if you want to check that out, you can follow us on Message24Pod on Instagram.
Yes.
To stay up to date on all things related to us.
Yes. The good, sincerely Danny and Coach James.
Yes. All right. Well, I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. It's Wednesday, and you almost, he got to do his thing. I don't know why I couldn't skip off.
You can't cut this off.
I don't know how to cut it off. I'm about to hit Now, if I hit it and all the audio get deleted, that's on you. Don't put it on me.
I guess I'm done with that song for today.
You done with your song for today?
I'm done for today.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, we appreciate y'all. We're going to see y'all in the next one.
Yes, bye. Have a beautiful time.
Bye-bye. Have a beautiful time.